It's on?
Yep.
Alright. What's going on YouTube? Lou here from MCC, licensed massage therapist and certified personal trainer. And today's video is more about me just getting more practice on the camera. As you can see, the quality of the footage is a lot better than my first video, which was done from my phone. But today, what I wanted to talk about was how to get good at something pretty freaking fast. And I'm saying good and not master something. So what I mean by that is, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but most people who are in the self-development community have heard of the 10,000 hour rule, which is basically it takes 10,000 hours of consistent practice to master your craft. Now, when you hear 10,000 hours, you think, oh my God, I'm never going to get good at this. I'm never going to master that. 10,000 hours is a really, really long time. But, however, there is something else called the 20-hour rule, which basically means is, even though it takes 10 hours to master something new, or 10,000 hours to master something, it only takes 20 hours to get pretty freaking good at something new. And when I was thinking about it, I was like, wow, 20 hours doesn't sound that much. So what I wanted to do was, how could I break this down to where I won't have so much stress on me to get as good as possible? So what I did was I broke it down. I did how long would 20 hours cost over the course of a year? Meaning, how many minutes a day would I have to practice to get good over the course of just 1 year? And when I did the math, it was only about 3.5 minutes, which blew my mind. So basically what that means is, as long as I practice daily on the camera for 3.5 minutes, within the next year, I should be really, really good at communicating to you guys on the camera. So what I did was literally, I hit the timer right now, and can you see it, Dubs? It's at 2 minutes now. The idea is to continuously practice this daily. And as you can see, I'm still stuttering, I'm still a little bit nervous, but the more I do this daily, the better I'm gonna get. Now, what can you take from this? The idea is, whatever new skill you're trying to practice, what tends to happen, and this particularly happens to my girlfriend who's behind the camera right now, is when she tries to learn something new, the first few days she goes ham. Like, she goes and she practices for like hours. And what tends to happen is, she gets extremely frustrated because she's trying way too hard and she's dedicating way too much time to this new skill, that what ends up happening is she just ends up quitting.
Hey.
So, sorry babe. But for this, what I'm trying to do is give you guys some information where you could minimize the stress, although you do want some stress, but you want to minimize, like when you're first starting out, you just want to build the habit of practicing daily. So practicing daily is much more effective than practicing once a week for a long period of time. And the more you get comfortable doing this new skill, the more likely you're going to keep, let's say, just keep getting better and better. So 3.5 minutes is the rule, 4 minutes a day, right? Now, the idea is, you might be thinking, all right, I don't want to just practice 4 minutes a day. The idea is to just get started. Now, what tends to happen is, the idea is practice 3.5 to 4 minutes daily, but what happens is, when you get into a rhythm, you get into the flow state, and it becomes addicting, and dopamine is released, and you start actually enjoying this, okay? And you know, we're still learning as a group. As you can hear, I still have distractions from my first video. My phone was just going off, but I realized that I just went over my 3.5 minutes. So right now I'm into somewhat of a flow, and I'm actually enjoying this, because when we first started filming, I was stuttering and all over the place. But the idea, again, the 3.5 to 4 minute rule a day to get good at any particular skill. So remember, don't stress yourself out. And the key here is, after every practice, make sure you celebrate to some degree. And for me, it will be my affirmation, which is, day by day, in every way, we are getting better and better. And by doing that, you're releasing dopamine in your brain, which means your brain is going to want to keep doing it. So I'm going to just leave you guys with that. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. See you guys next time.
You didn't even trip out when I accidentally moved the camera.
We're putting it up.
Oh.